The Dogs are looking for a third natty in 4 seasons. Expectations are high in 2024. Israel Troop joins me. Let's roll. All right. Good evening. Happy Thursday. Hope you are having a great evening so far. Hope you are gearing up for a great weekend. We are back. It's the Believe in Georgia Dogs podcast on the Believe Network. And if you're wondering why we're so sporadic with our attendance, well, it's that time of year for us. We are educators, coaches, all of the good things. Israel is, I think the question is, what are you not doing at this point? You're moving. You're doing grad school. You are gearing up for a new school, which you're already in, and having to deal with procedures there, spring practice, battling the cold, making friends with Casper in your new shed, all that good stuff, man. What's happening, man?
Look, man, it's a lot going on. It's doable though. You know, being in the coaching world and the teaching world teaches you how to, adjust on the fly. Multitask and handle your emotions very, very well. Like I said, I've moved, done spring practice, finished my last grad school class before the summer classes. 4 classes away from having my specialist. So, I mean, that's great. But it's just been a whirlwind. But hey, we get it done. And hey, here we are on this wonderful Thursday evening.
Have you thought about becoming Dr. Troop?
I have not. I will never, ever, ever be Dr. Troop. This is the last go around for me. This is it. This is it.
I love it. Well, anyway, the reason why we're together, the topic of the night is the expectations are high. Looking for the third natty in 4 seasons. The sports books, FanDuel, BetOnline.ag, all the sports books has Georgia at 10.5 wins. So let's get right out the gates with that before we do, though. BetOnline.ag has everything you need in your sports wagering. If you want to bet NBA and NHL playoffs, they have it right there for you. MLB as well. I don't know how to bet baseball, but it's there for you. So head to BetOnline.ag now. Take advantage. Use promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV to get your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline.ag. It's where the game starts.
I just looked and I got paint on my hands, so I was like, "What in the world?"
Yeah,
I missed the head bob. Dadgummit.
You missed the head bob. Yeah, there you go. I missed you imitating it too. So we might have to do that over. But anyway, BetOnline.ag. If you enter the promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to get your promo code. So they have us at 10.5 wins. Man, are you buying it?
I like it. I like it a lot.
So are you hitting the over? I'm guessing you're hitting the over, right?
I think I like this. I like over. I'm hitting the over. I think we got a really good team. I think we got really good chemistry going on right now. The fact that these guys are gelling the way they are so early, does really, really good for us. Especially when you're trying to. I think this season is unfinished business. So I think that's where we're at.
Yeah, no doubt. And the way we've geared up, I think, is really the biggest thing. Carson Beck he's on point, and I think a lot of people are going to say, well, he struggled a little bit in the spring game, and I call BS on that because he was just trying to put on a show to me. And he was trying to make throws that he would never try to make in regular season games.
No, absolutely not. And at the same time, it's spring game. So, it's one where, hey, fans are here. Let's have a good time. I mean, does it mean anything? Absolutely. But does it really mean anything? Absolutely not. He's the guy. So, I mean, let's go out here and have fun. It's one of those things to where it's spring game for him. It's about, let's get these quality reps in, but let's also have some fun before, it really becomes like gut check time.
Yeah, just let it rip. And that's what you got to do. Just let it rip. And the newcomers, man, we talked about this a little bit, but I think the reason why the optimism is so high, I mean, even if you take the over, you still, like, if you're taking it from a betting perspective, you still got one loss to play with, which I don't want to think about who we're going to lose to, but it's right there for the taking. I mean, the toughest games are against Ole Miss and Texas, those and Alabama. Those are the three toughest games on the schedule by far. And then you have Tennessee, Clemson. They're always tough. And then the other ones, of course, they're SEC opponents. Of course, they're going to be hard. But like Mississippi State, they're going to be the worst team in the SEC this year. And South Carolina is not going to be anything. Florida is, I mean, they have to make up weird, goofy titles just so they can retain coaches, like game changer coordinator.
Wow. But it's going to be interesting to see how everything goes. To me, I think the toughest game is just Texas and Ole Miss. One, we got to go to both of those places. And, I mean, Ole Miss is actually, the transfer portal kings at this particular moment in time. So, I mean, they got some ballers over there, So, I think those two games are going to give us some trouble. At the end of the day, the only team that we have to beat is ourselves. You know what I mean? So, I think if we just do what we're supposed to do, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we handled business the way we're supposed to. I think defensively, there's a lot of people coming back, right? And it was an already talented group. They have all Rivals 100 players on the defense. They have C.J. Allen, who's wearing number 3. He looks like he's starting to play like another number 3 that we know at that position. Malachi Starks, when he comes back, he missed all of spring. But when he comes back, he'll get back into his role there. And it's just going to be a matter of like kind of who fills in the other secondary spots. Cause you lose Javon Bullard, you lose Kamari Lassiter. That's a little bit of a concern, but overly worried about that, to be honest.
Yeah. I think after seeing, the way that those guys they're covering, they're communicating already to be so young and inexperienced on the back end. And the fact that these guys are coming up and striking people already, like we said earlier, you don't want it to be your own teammates for sure, but the fact that they're not scared and they're willing to come down and strike, the way they have, I think that just says a lot of the experience that they've already, well, I won't say experience, the confidence that they have already within themselves, go out here and play that back end. Because every year it's always the same thing. What's the secondary going to look like? It's never really the box, the front 7. You don't really hear. We haven't really heard the names that you normally hear.
Right.
Like we had last year, but there's never been a concern about the box. It's always been on the back end. So I think those guys took it personally, and they came out of spring, with a lot of questions answered. But at the same time, what are you going to do when there's 100,000 people, sitting on top of you and yelling? That's when you really start to see, are you ready for the big time?
Yeah, Dalen Everett, I think is going to be somebody that's going to jump off the page. Julian Humphrey is also somebody you should be very excited about. Ellis Robinson, the true freshman, is really making some noise too. I mean, the cornerback position, I think it's relatively unknown, but there's a lot of talent there. And those guys are dynamic. Those guys are every as bit as good as the ones we lost. Probably maybe not quite as physical because Kamari Lassiter come up and hit you, and Javon Bullard, well, we know that. We know definitely he would come up and hit you. But, I mean, even Tyke Smith, if we're looking at the secondary as a whole, I mean, he's third rounder to Tampa Bay. They're excited as hell to get him down there, man. So, like, you have quite a bit to replace, and I think it's going to be kind of a youth movement there. And I think those youth guys are going to be far advanced because – they're starting to get it. A lot of them were early enrollees like KJ Bolden, Ellis Robinson. Those guys are going to factor in big time.
I think this is going to be probably the most youthful secondary we've had in a very, very long time. Outside of Starks being like the lone, veteran of the bunch. You know what I mean? So it's one of those deals to where, throw them to the wolves early. I mean, because if you really think about it, it's one thing that we talked about, as an offensive staff, where I'm at, we beat our head against the wall in the whole spring, like, man, we're getting our ass whooped by our defense, by our defensive line and things like that. And we go out here in our spring game, I mean, we look like world beaters, you know what I mean? So it's one of those where you're going against the best every single day, you know what I mean? Yeah. So anybody else that you go against, whether on Saturday, for us on Friday night, I mean, it's like, all right, we good. Have you seen what we go against, just every day of practice? Just going against those guys is just going to build that confidence for you and the camaraderie that they have between, the skills of the receivers and the secondary guys. I think that's going to be good for them, because it's always going to be trash talk back and forth. So, I mean, playing Tennessee, playing against Alabama won't be too big for them because they're like, guys, I've got to face rah-rah, every day. I got to face, love it every day. I got to go against Lucky every day. You know what I mean? So you got to go against all these guys every single day. So I don't think the moment will be too big for them.
No, and Rah is going to let you know about it. Dominic's going to let you know about it. Delp's going to let you know about it. Yurshek is going to let you know about it. The new guy from Stanford at the tight end spot. So I mean, all these guys are going to let you know about it. And to me, it just seems like, and you've seen this firsthand. I haven't seen it firsthand, and I'm getting a lot of information from you, and just kind of a sense of like just the way we play just kind of oozes this as well. But like the practices are designed, to be harder and more stressful than a game, and these guys just compete and crush each other, and then all of a sudden South Carolina walks in and they just dominate because that's all they know how to do.
Yeah.
And that's
that's it. As a coach, that's one thing. We've adapted that this year. We call it Snot Bubble Tuesday. That's one of the things that I'm bringing to Thomasville that I brought from where. It's Bloody Tuesday at Georgia. I didn't even know they called it that. I just called it Snot Bubble Tuesday. Just because it's going to be war on Tuesday. You know what I mean? But it's just a mentality you got to have. If you're a coach, that's not making practice hard, then what are you doing? Because the practice is like work. I tell my guys, practice is work. You're working every day. Friday's payday. You know what I mean? So every day you're working in order to cash that check. Either you're gonna, go above and beyond, or you're gonna come up short. You know what I mean? So it depends on how you're chopping that wood every single day. Just that's gonna determine the outcome, on game day. So every day is a work day. You know what I mean? And everything that I've seen and I've read, about Georgia this year, that's how they're approaching it. Like I said, it's unfinished business. They know, we know, everybody knows we should have three-peated last year. Well, guess what? Here it comes. This train is coming down the track really, really fast, and you better move out the way.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit we got overconfident, a little too cocky in the SEC championship game, and I don't think Kirby's going to let that happen again.
No, man.
But my question to you, Israel, is this. All that competition, all those really difficult practices, you do still have to preserve guys' legs a little bit, preserve bodies a little bit. How do y'all do it down at Thomasville? And how do you think Kirby does it day to day at Georgia? Like, how do you balance like Snot Bubble Tuesday? How do you follow that up on Wednesday, or how do you precede that on Monday? Like, I know here in Tennessee, our JV games are on Monday, so the young guys get their quote Bloody Tuesday on Monday in their JV game, and then they get back-to-back tough practices. And usually we kind of go like Monday's our JV game, Tuesday's a little bit lighter, Wednesday's kind of like a heavier day, and then Thursday is light too.
Well, we go Monday's our what you would tell our light day. That's implementing the plan. Kind of like we kind of do the college model. Mondays implement the plan, make sure everybody knows to do. Tuesday is your work day. Tuesday is usually your full pad day. Wednesday is usually your light day. You kind of getting your opening script done, kind of practicing your third downs and things like that. So it's a little bit of a light day, more of a competition day, above the waist type deal. And then Thursday's a walkthrough. Thursday's over with. You know what I mean? So we do it that way. We have little segments to where we go against each other, team against team against team, things like that. Most of our stuff is done against scouts, and all of our stuff is thud. You know what I mean? It's no tackling to the ground. You get most of your tackling and stuff like during fundamental drills, because that's usually, for defense, since we don't tackle to the ground, that's fundamentally, as long as that happens, you're fine. You know what I mean? So that's one way that we keep our guys good. We feed them every day and things like that. So our nutrition program at Georgia right now is absolutely phenomenal. There's no round table or thing like that. Like when I was in school, they're actually spending money. They got their own cafeteria in the butts. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. How spoiled they are now. I'm real jealous. I'm proud but jealous at the same time. But the recovery and things like that. It's just about guys taking care of themselves. Are they going to bed at night? Things like that. A lot of it, is on the player. The coach is going to look out for it as best they can, because you still got to get the work in. But at the same time, it's really on the player to make sure that their body's ready, they're resting, things like that. They're doing the small things, in order to play what is it, 15 games this year, something like that.
Yeah.
In the college season. So if you want to be great, you got to take care of pretty much you got to take care of everything. You're only getting one bye week, and that's always before we play for them. So
yeah, exactly. And so it's a kind of a long sprint to that bye week, and it's a long sprint afterwards. So it's kind of grueling. But like, what's the mentality like right now? Like as a player, school's over, you're kind of in that weird in between where like a lot of guys are at home right now, right? Like what's the mentality? What was your mentality year to year as the further you got into the program? Like, hey, it's May, school's out. What's it like before you have to like come back in the summer for strength program?
I went home one time during my time at Jordan. It was the most boring time ever. My mom wouldn't let me go anywhere, which I'm very, very thankful of that now. When you go see a couple of friends, family members, and things like that, I went back to Athens like within 2 days. So I ended up just staying and doing the Mainmaster, doing some rehab stuff because I had a shoulder injury later on in my career, and just doing that. Athens was fun for us during the summertime, because it's not the hustle and bustle of school.
Yeah, it's real low key.
And it's really, really low key. So we enjoyed it. So I just stayed up there and worked out during May. Same thing with high school right now. We'll go 3 days next week and then we're done, for a week and a half. So, it's good for us. It's good for the coaches and stuff to get a break away from it. Because right now, coaches are recruiting right now. So they'll have just a little bit of time before they're back in as well. So right now it's just a chill. This is the time right here where players are at home. They're doing things. Just stay out of trouble, and stay safe, and make it back in one piece. This is the time right here where it's like, Lord, please, just make sure everybody makes it back in one piece.
Make sure nobody gets popped for any sort of
anything.
This is where you put the governors on the cars, right? Make sure they don't excessively speed.
That and make sure while you're home, just be safe while you're at home because everything's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those deals where you're praying every day as a coach, like please, just everybody just make it back. Everybody make it back.
Everybody make it back in one piece with no legal drama.
That's it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know I know high school wise we're wrapping up. I'm gearing up to become. I'm going to be the John Madden of the duo here pretty soon. I think we've got some things in the works. So I'm gonna be a John Madden instead and jump into the booth instead of on the sideline.
Okay, I like it.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. So I got a meeting on Tuesday. There's some possible grant money out there that could be a game changer for us. So I could have my new sport that I'm the head coach of, and they can't take that away. So
absolutely, I work hard for this, buddy. Hard.
I know. So it'll be a little bit different for me, but I'll still get some of the analyst work. I'll still get to break down stuff, and I just won't be calling plays. I'll be calling the plays, but I won't be calling plays.
Hey man, you always move down here. You always come on back to Georgia.
Yeah, I could.
That's where you belong.
Come down to South Georgia with you, right?
Absolutely, but you want to stay over there with all them Tennessee people up there.
Yeah, all the orange people up here. I gotta spread this gospel around. You know, I gotta spread the G around. There's not enough G's up here.
You probably get chased out of town. You wear that shirt down to Knoxville.
Shit, I know, right? There's there's all kind of it's either Tennessee, Ole Miss, or Bama around here in Nashville.
Wow, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss ain't very far away. Ole Miss is just as close as Atlanta. It's like 4 hours away. A lot of Ole Miss people live here. Medical field, a lot of Middle Tennessee people just kind of migrate down there. Ole Miss is a very popular school.
I almost went to Ole Miss. I was real close to it.
Yeah, that's the Grove is quite the thing.
The Grove was fun. But I just loved Athens even more.
I mean, honestly, I've never been to Ole Miss, never been to Oxford, but I've heard it's like the same. North Campus.
But I tell you what,
the Grove.
Let's see. I think Houston Nutt was Houston Nutt coach here? Let's see. Well, Houston Nutt. Anyways, whoever the coach is. But it would be hard right now to choose between Lane Kiffin and Kirby Smart. Like, if you really think about it, these are two really cool that you're like, I could play for that guy. Like, I could really play for these.
I don't know that
these guys before.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah, it's tough. You'd be like, I want to join the Lane train.
Yeah, it's not a bad situation. Athens, they're winning. It's same atmosphere. It'd be real hard to turn down. Real hard to turn down.
It'd have to be like, I want like NIL money. I mean, that's great and all that stuff. But for me, the experience of going to college, you know what I mean? The experience of enjoying that time of playing football, and just think we did this without money. So this is coming strictly from the heart. You know what I mean? So just the experience of playing college football, would do it for me. I mean, the money would be great. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have a Lamborghini, like Carson Beck. I mean, I'm not turning that down by any means. But at the same time, I'm not one to, as a kid back then, there were plenty of times where I'm like, I ain't transferring nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, why would I do that?
Yeah. Let's be honest. The money's going to be similar. If you're being heavily recruited by Ole Miss and Georgia, the money's going to be similar in this NIL era.
Yeah.
Like it's always going to come down to, do you enjoy where you're at? Because am I going to enjoy spending this NIL money in Oxford? Am I going to enjoy spending this NIL money in Athens? Am I going to enjoy spending this NIL money in Lexington or Norman or Berkeley or wherever? I don't know, wherever you're going. But
here's the thing that I don't understand is like you still got to go to practice. You know what I mean? So that aspect of football ain't gonna change when you transfer.
There's nothing that's really going to change
where you're enjoying where you are. Athens is a great place to be. Oxford, is a great place to be. LSU would be a great place to be. These are just schools I know of that I've been. Gainesville is a great place to be. You know what I mean? Miami, great place to be. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where it's football, NIL, that's great. But am I going to have a good college experience while I'm here as well?
Yeah, I mean,
that's what people are missing through this whole deal. I understand you want to play and all that stuff, but are you going to enjoy the time of being a college? There are plenty of people, adults in this world, that will be like, hey, I would go right back to college right now in a heartbeat.
I would.
With
I would.
take NIL away, take all that away. Let's just go back to when you were in school. People go back in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, I had the time of my life in Athens. It was incredible. I wouldn't trade it for anything. And and that being said, yeah, I would. I would consider a lot of different places. I mean, I almost went to Florida State because I got into Florida State. I was choosing between Florida State and Georgia. I got into both schools, and so it was just a matter of out-of-state tuition. But if I was being recruited and there was NIL money on the table, which let's be honest, Israel, like the only difference is in recruiting is that money is now legal and you can actually talk about it. And that's the only difference. And it's not a it's not a vast difference between school to school. Some schools will be like, you can go there if you want, like when they hear the numbers. But for the most part, relatively speaking, like Nico, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but you know who I'm talking about, right? The quarterback at Tennessee, Nico Iamahalahavalata. Him, that guy. He, $8 million. I guarantee you every school was talking to him was right in that relative ballpark.
$8 million to the Senate. That's wild.
Yeah. But I imagine it came down to, okay, the money's got to be similar at other places if he was considering other places. So it probably came down to, okay, I'm going to flourish in Josh Heupel's offense. I enjoy Knoxville, and this whole situation, facility wise, and everything is great. The college experience is great here. I feel comfortable, and I could do a lot with $8 million in the city of Knoxville. Like that's probably what was going through his head. Trevor Etienne is like, yeah, I can do a lot with the money in Athens. I want to be at Georgia with Kirby Smart, and I want to be in a winning culture. So I'm gonna enroll in Athens, and then he figured out that the ACC TV was not playing.
The new RB, here it is.
Yeah,
get you some.
It's a whole lot of get you some, and I love it, dude. I'm so rooting for Kendall Milton to make the team in Philly. I am so rooting for Dejon Edwards to make the team in Pittsburgh. And
did he sign the other day? I think he signed.
Yeah, they signed. They signed right after the draft. Like immediately after the draft, they signed free agent deals.
No, did they sign the rookie deal?
They signed whatever undrafted free agent deal. If they make the team, obviously they'll be under contract if they make the active roster. But
I hope they did. I thought I saw a thing the other day that I know that Dejon had signed his rookie deal. I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they Dejon Edwards.
Because they're talking about Najee Harris going to Dallas.
Yeah, Dejon Edwards signs with Pittsburgh Steelers 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. And then Kendall Milton. I just hope Milton can stay healthy enough. Yeah, rookie free agent deal. Nice. Yeah, he signed a rookie free agent deal. But he's an X factor too. Like I think he could be like kind of the third hammer there for Pittsburgh. So a lot of our pro dogs, like, have you seen some of these clips of Lad in LA?
They're calling the next Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I mean the dude is just smooth, man.
And Steve Smith gave him the green light too, so he's going to be a bad man.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the ultimate green light right there, Steve Smith.
Absolutely.
I can't wait till they have him on the pivot.
Yeah, I love the pivot.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Tom Brady on the day.
Yeah. How about Tom Brady, man? Like immediately without calling a single game. Speaking of going into the booth, without calling a game, gets on Fox's #1 team. Do you think he'll do well? Are you excited to watch? Good. Are you excited to watch him?
It's always good when you have a guy that's played the game, other than Tony Romo, which I like listening to Tony Romo. I think he goes into quarterback mode a little bit too much every once in a while.
He's a bit corny. He's a bit corny, but
yeah, because he's like in quarterback mode. He's like, well, we're gonna do this. His excitement's kind of fake because he's like analyzing the game from quarterback standpoint, which I love it. But it's like, dude, chill, But at the same time, I think Tom Brady's got a little bit more personality than Romo, in my opinion. Judging by the roast from the other night as well, his sense of humor has to be really, really good. But I think he'll do good. I think he'll be really good. But I'm trying to see what's up with these ABC times. How does Miami and Florida get the 3:30 game, and we're playing at 12 in the dome?
Yeah, because we're going to absolutely wipe the floor with Clemson. Is what's going to happen. There's not a whole lot of. We should blame Clemson for that.
That Miami Florida game ain't going to be too entertaining either.
Miami's going to, like, why do they have so much faith in Florida? Like, I don't get that. Florida's terrible.
I feel like our game is going to be more entertaining than that game.
Yeah. But Dabo, Mr. Portal guys aren't good enough. You don't think Trevor Etienne is good enough to play at Clemson?
I still can't believe that they have not one person out of it.
Yeah. Well, no. According to him, they signed a whole class full of portal guys. Guys transferring from high school. That's what he said. Did you not hear that part? He said that too. It's some wackadoo stuff. Yeah. It's a complete whack job stuff, man. It's crazy. But yeah, like 12. What's up with that? Like, come on, ABC. Don't stick us in that spot.
I was like, what the world? So aren't we going to be on ABC here?
Yeah.
Or are we on ESPN?
No, I think we're ABC. I think we're the ABC noon game.
Yeah, that's true.
It's 11. That's an 11 a.m. game for me.
Who's our network for SEC now?
ABC, ESPN.
Oh, that's dumb.
No more CBS. No more CBS. CBS is Big Ten now.
I don't like it.
No more CBS. We're all ABC, ESPN, SEC network. I don't like it already because they stuck us in one of our bigger games at noon. Yeah, I can hear your eyes rolling. Mine are too. It's God, like A&M's the night game. Like, why are they the night game?
Yeah, Notre Dame and they should be the 3:30 game.
We should be the night game. We should be the primetime game. They should be the 3:30. Miami, Florida should be the noon game.
Yeah, they definitely get messed that up.
With Virginia Tech, Vandy at noon. And I don't know who else is playing big games, but yeah. I don't think anybody else is playing any big games. But yeah, I mean, come on now. Like, you gotta help us out. Gotta help us out.
Like, don't worry.
Expectations are high, man. Like, looking for a third Natty in 4 seasons, that's prime time spot stuff, man.
We'll be back soon enough.
Yeah, we'll be enough. That Texas game will be. Unless ABC is trying to do this crap that Fox is doing with the big noon kickoff.
Yeah, and what's crazy about those kickoffs is like, all right, playing at Colorado, so that game really starts at 10:30 over there, 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's a brunch game because they're mountain. They're mountain time? Yeah.
So they're at least 2 hours off from me. For me, at least.
Yeah, they're an hour off of me. Like, it's a morning game when we play at noon.
Hey, we're gonna play at noon. So we're playing at 10. Okay, great. Thanks.
I remember one time they did. You know how they used to call it Pac-12 after dark? It was Pac-12 after brunch.
Yeah.
Pac-12 after brunch. Pac-12 after breakfast.
Pac-12. Nobody's watching that game.
Can you imagine? Listen to this. Like, can you imagine if you played like Arizona? Let's say you signed at Arizona State right out of high school. Could you imagine, your coach being like, "All right, our game's at 9:30 tomorrow morning." What would be the like? What would be the routine? Like when y'all played noon games, what was your routine?
If it was a home game,
Road game.
shoot.
Give me the road game because that's got to be the worst.
Yeah, it's early, dog. It's like you're up at 7. Let's see. Let's say if we played Tennessee, like you're up at like 7 because that game is going to start at 11.
Yeah.
11:15. And then eat breakfast, devotional, walk through. Oh, that's miserable. Get on the bus. Let's see, it's probably about a 45-minute drive, so you're leaving about 9:45-ish. No, about 8:45, 8:30. You're on the bus, head to the stadium. Yeah. That was rough.
Yeah, that's brutal. That's brutal. I could imagine that. And then so now back that up like 2 hours. So you're get up at 5 for a 9:30 game.
Yeah, not good. Not good for the program, to say the least.
No, that game, and needless to say, that game was about as sloppy as you could get. They played USC at brunch. That was brutal. So, well, before we get out of here, a couple things, man. Thomas Blackshear, what are your thoughts on him? He just committed. I'm excited about that one.
Can you still see me on your end?
You're frozen. Like you're looking like looks like you're focused on a spider on the ceiling.
Dude, I look really, really special in that picture. Like before it went dark on my side, I was like looking up, trying to think.
Like, kill your camera, see what happens.
But I like him. I've seen him in person.
No, I guess not.
No, it didn't work. Anyways, but I've seen him in person, man. He's the real deal, man. I like him. Real smooth, real raw right now. But I think he's getting really good coaching. So
yeah, he is. Cavalry Day, right?
Yeah. Justin Fields, who used to be at Georgia, he was a walk-on at Georgia when I was there. He coaches at Cavalry Day.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I guess that's the connection, right?
Oh yeah, he's doing good there.
Yeah, this guy's going to be electric, man. I'm so excited we're getting electric receivers again, and it's and we just continue that pipeline, and that's going to be really fun, and it's going to shut all the Bobo haters up because they're like, oh well, Bobo's here, we're not getting any electric receivers anymore. Like you can say goodbye to that because it's Bobo.
Yeah, Coach Bobo was down in Thomasville this past week before last, and I was actually moving into I was signing on the new house, and I didn't get to see him.
Oh
so,
no!
Papa Bobo, George Bobo, his dad at our scrimmage game last Friday, he goes, as soon as he sees me, somebody was looking for you on Wednesday. I said, I know he would show up when I'm not here.
He said, God dang, Troop, man, you never come to school.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he said. Because I'm usually always there when he comes by.
Yeah.
But, they're let me tell you something about Georgia right now. Like that whole, if you think for 1 second that Georgia's not getting dynamic players, you have lost your mind. Okay.
You're just looking for something to complain about at that point.
It might not seem like it because it's not a name that you readily recognize, but when you watch the caliber of player that they're trying to recruit on film, let me tell you something. We're getting some big time players.
Getting some dudes.
So don't look at stars. Don't look at I've never heard that name before or anything. Don't listen to any of that.
They're high school kids. Like, of course you've never heard that name before.
Oh man, you know how these people are. They know how to read the vent. Dog vent. That's where they get all their information from.
That's right. Dog
It
Vin.
was equal 2-star. You know, we signed Lat McConkey, and people thought that we were crazy. Now look,
Yeah.
don't think
Lad
I forgot.
McConkey. Yeah, no,
I tell
I didn't
you,
forget either. I remember all that stuff. I remember they're like, oh, Lad McConkey. Oh, we just threw
I
him in
remember
all.
saying, I was like, think about this now. So that white boy can ball. And people looking at me crazy. I was think about this. Michael Bennett, Chris Durham. Just think about the caliber of player that we've had that just happened to be white at the receiver position. And all you look at is, man, who's this little white kid? I said, look, that little white kid can ball. And look at it.
Yeah, that kid can
Told you.
go. He's got some, you know what about him. He's got a little bit of Welker in him. He's got a little bit of Edelman. He got a little bit of Cooper Kupp in there. Just baller, man. Baller. And he showed from day one, the very first time you saw him play.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You were like, what? I guarantee you my jaw was like, what? Kid's a freshman.
I told all my buddies in the group chat. We got a little group chat, and I said, I told y'all he could ball. I told you.
Like, well, I guess you're right, Troop. He can ball. You're right. And now he's a NFL draftee, second rounder.
Balling still. About to get a check now.
No, he's about to get that check.
Big time.
So he's good. Last thing, Georgia baseball, dude. They just keep going up in the rankings.
Dude, we're balling at every facet of the world at this particular moment. In year one of having a new baseball coach, we have broken the home run record. Okay. Yeah. And if you notice, our pitching has gotten so much better. You know, it also helps your head coach as a pitching guy as well.
We can pitch.
And we sold out, 5-6 games this year.
Mm-hmm.
We beat Clemson twice.
Beat Vandy, swept Vandy.
Swept South Carolina, which I didn't even expect that.
I think we took the series on the road at A&M, which not many people have done either.
We did.
I remember correctly.
It's a beautiful thing to see. And I hope that this year I hope we win it. I hope we win it all. You know what I mean? But I hope we make a run this year so our guys can understand, hey, we're pretty freaking good. And if we just keep doing what we're doing, within the next 2-3 years, we're going to be holding that trophy in Omaha.
Yeah. I think we're going to be in a super regional this year. I mean, this team, like, they're not a ton of holes in this team. I mean, they've got great plate discipline. They hit for power. Pitching wise, they set up hitters really well. And it's just not a ton of holes. And they don't do a lot of things to beat themselves either. You don't see a ton of walks, a ton of errors, and things that plague other teams. Like their bullpen does fairly well most of the time. You know, obviously it's baseball, so your bullpen's gonna falter every once in a while. So, but
right.
For the most part, the bullpen's really, really solid. And that was the thing that really, really bothered me last year with this team was like anytime the starter went out, you're like, okay, well, there goes the game.
Right.
And a lot of times the starter would get chased in the third or fourth inning, and then your bullpen has to survive the rest of the way, and you're just like, that's a wrap.
I think too, you know, just watching us at the plate, man, it's just like, who is this team and where have y'all been?
They're actually being selective, taking pitchers deep into counts.
Yeah, and there are a couple of times you're like, oh, there's that old Georgia group again. But then the very next inning, they bounce back. You know what I'm saying? Even that same hitter, like, they bounce back. You know, and you're like, okay, here we go. We're good now.
Yeah. And they're just launching balls out of the yard. Like they got some of the best power numbers in the conference.
Ain't no doubt.
So it's fun to see, man. It's fun to see Georgia do well. in sports that we haven't done well in a while. And I think basketball's on the rise. Tyron Lawrence, I don't know if you know much about him. I don't know if we talked about him, but new point guard, transferred from Vandy actually. Very gritty.
Yeah.
He's a slasher. He gets to the rim. He's a good scorer. He's going to be good.
Love to see it.
He's a court leader. Like he's somebody that's going to like command everybody, get everybody kind of set, and he's not going to take any garbage.
Yeah, that's kind of what we need. You know, we need that one good leader on that side to be like, all right, guys, here we go.
And that's him. That's Tyron Lawrence. So, but anyway, I know you're tired. It's May. School's almost over, so that's a guarantee.
Hey, our last day is tomorrow, baby. It's over with.
Oh, it's over with for y'all? Oh, snap. We got half days next week. Yeah, we got half days next week. We got exams. So it's pretty much over for us. Like I only have to give 2 exams because I gave my class has industry certification. So they take, they basically take their test like early. Like, so
yeah,
they don't have to do it. So like, I'm going to be in chill mode, and I have yearbook as one of the other classes. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're definitely chilling. I am chilling for real. I'm like, hey, cuz look, you can either sit down and be quiet, or you can sit home. One of the two.
Just chill, guys, and don't send a bunch of people to the weight room. I'm sure that's what you're crossing your fingers. I don't know if they do that at Thomasville, but
absolutely not. Absolutely not. I send them right back, and then sometimes I get real petty and I send other students to those teachers' rooms.
I've done
for
that
everyone
before.
you send me. I'm sending you to.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Unless it's a kid I like, I'm like, it's cool. But if it's a turd, oh yeah, you're definitely getting 2 of my students.
I'm sending you the worst ones too.
Hey, no doubt.
So, well, that's going to wrap it up for us here, Israel. Man, we've had a lot of fun. We're gonna, we're gonna increase our presence a little bit as we go, and we're gonna build this thing that we call this magical mystery tour that we call the Believe in Georgia Dogs podcast on the Believe Network. We hope you liked what you heard. If you did, make sure you find us on social media at TroopStar28, at Coach Burton36, and our new Twitter handle at Believe _ dogs. Thank you, Twitter, for acting like we got hacked with our old account. And we'll see you back here next time on the Believe in Georgia Dogs podcast on the Believe Network. Until then, be good, go Dogs, and Israel, enjoy your move, get settled, and we'll come back at you.
Absolutely, go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Peace.